Coming up on Fulton Today, Fulton names its new chief operating officer. We'll tell you what this means for the county.
The Sheriff's Office helps the less fortunate receive the items many of us take for granted. I'm Brian Robinson, and I'll explain how coming up.
And later, many of the county's senior centers receive major security upgrades. We'll tell you why. That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. As City of Atlanta and Fulton County leaders look for a long-term housing solution for its homeless citizens, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office embarks on a major initiative to help hundreds of homeless people get their lives back on track. FGTV's Brian Robinson joins us now with more on this story. Brian?
Shania, the Sheriff's Office hosted this event on Central Avenue outside the Justice Center because it's one of the many streets that homeless citizens call home.
We're getting more and more.
For 8 years, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office has spent a day completely focused on providing the county's homeless citizens with some of the things they most need. And on this day, the sheriff said his team of 106 chaplains was able to get even more vendors to help.
We serve up to 1,000 people that are homeless or less fortunate, and the churches and other community organizations and Mercy Care will come out, give physicals, and give them items that we take for granted.
Items like personal hygiene products, toothpaste, toothbrushes, and deodorant, and plenty of clothes. The donations came from the Fulton employees and the greater community of faith.
The homeless, a lot of times, they get left out. They're still part of the community, and we need to make sure that they know they're part of the community. These are human beings, and they need love, they need care, and they need to be able to understand that they fit in. So when we do this every year, this is the day where they can sit, relax, be ministered to, prayed to. They can eat as much as they want, get clothing, just whatever we have out here.
The chaplains say each year they host this event, the need becomes greater. In fact, according to the Atlanta Mission, more than 500,000 people currently meet the definition of homeless in our country, and of those, 7,000 live in Atlanta.
They realize that they're the forgotten, and we have to understand that people need help. And by us being out here, hopefully we're bringing it to the attention of the rest of the public that we need to help them. Some need a little bit of help, some need a lot of help.
So on this day, help is just what they received. Items that could help in the short term and consultations with service vendors for potential long-term placement.
Now, though this event is over, the sheriff and the chaplains believe it was a success. Now the hope is to work with community leaders to find homeless citizens a more permanent residence. Reporting in downtown Atlanta, I'm Brian Robinson for FGTV.
And meanwhile, the Sheriff's Office is looking to add to its workforce, and it is using a new mobile unit to get people on board. This is the department's new recruiting mobile that is now on the road to let everyone know about the employment opportunities.
When the civilians and people out in the community, when they see the truck, they notice the truck, they come to us and they ask questions in reference to the truck. And then after that, that's our way of providing information to them about what it is we do with the Sheriff's Office and the available positions that we have.
From sheriff's deputies to reserve deputies to detention officers, the recruiting mobile is designed to bring jobs normally posted only online to people who are outdoors.
Everywhere we go, there's always people asking us about it. It's definitely a conversational piece. It helps us in the recruitment standpoint to get more officers here with the Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
Even though the mobile unit is on the road now, if you are interested in learning about the job opportunities with the Sheriff's Department, you can also visit their website. For those with a prior record, finding a home or even employment is a tremendous challenge. Well, Fulton County's Solicitor General, he is helping some citizens with misdemeanors say goodbye to that checkered past and hello to a bright future. FGTV's Felicia Church explains.
You already registered. To the right.
As soon as the doors opened at this Union's building on Metropolitan Parkway, residents lined up for a second chance at life. People like Adam Bauer-Keller, who finally walked free and clear of all charges on this day.
Everybody pushed this through and got something that was in my background that's been haunting me for a long time just completely expunged, and I'm very, very happy about that.
The Office of the Fulton County Solicitor General created a misdemeanor expungement division in early 2017 to offer year-round access to apply for criminal record restrictions. The office partners with county agencies and community partners to provide that same service during what they call their Restorative Justice Record Restriction Summit.
Our Restorative Justice Freedom Summits is aimed at making sure that those folks whose records from criminal past, particularly misdemeanor, nonviolent offenses, can be erased so that they can get gainful employment, so that they can fulfill the true meaning of being an American citizen.
I've heard stories before from previous ones. I've heard some very moving and touching stories today where good people who may have made a mistake, one man in particular comes to mind, made a 20-year-old stupid mistake. He's 25 now, college graduate, but until today he had that black mark on his record. Now that's gone.
Those eligible for expungement of their criminal record are individuals arrested but not convicted of a misdemeanor from any Fulton County law enforcement agency.
We're thrilled to be working with the Fulton County Solicitor's Office. We've had a great partnership for the last couple of years, ensuring that Fulton County residents that have a misdemeanor on their record and are eligible can get it off.
The process to expunge a charge usually takes in excess of 150 days. Now the process is expedited through this one-day event where eligible citizens walk away with a clean record. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
Thank you, Felicia. Fulton County officially names its new chief operating officer. County Manager Dick Anderson has appointed Anna Roach to the position before accepting her new role. Anna served as the county's chief strategy officer for 3 years. During that time, she accomplished many lasting programs, including developing and executing the county's strategic plan. Mrs. Roach says she's excited about this next big step in her career.
The reason why I'm even more excited to serve as the chief operating officer is that I'll have an opportunity to touch citizens more than I have in any other role with the county. So that just makes me even more delighted to be of service in this role, even more so than in my previous roles, but I'm extremely excited.
Prior to joining Fulton County, Anna Roach spent 14 years as a criminal defense attorney, was a consultant for multiple clients, including MARTA, the Georgia Division of Asian Services, and the City of East Point. The position was previously held by Todd Long, who left the county in May. The City of South Fulton thanks Fulton's Executive Assistant District Attorney for his service to that community.
As Executive Assistant District Attorney Clint Rucker Appreciation Day in the City of South Fulton.
South Fulton Mayor William Bill Edwards and City Council members presented Clinton Rucker with a proclamation during their council meeting. Rucker, a City of South Fulton resident, was named the state's top prosecutor by the Prosecuting Attorneys Council of Georgia in July. He was praised by the city leaders for that accomplishment and for his willingness to fight on behalf of South Fulton citizens.
So I'm so glad to be able to, number one, to recognize an outstanding lawyer and district attorney. Number two is an outstanding person who lives in this community.
What a tremendous honor, and what a great feeling to have members of your own community recognize you and give you a day of appreciation for 22 years of service to the county.
Executive Assistant District Attorney Clint Rucker has prosecuted high-profile cases over the years, like the Brian Nichols courthouse shooting case, and more recently, the Claude Tex MacIver case. He was also lead prosecutor in the Amherst murder case in South Fulton, where former Target manager Pamela Williams was killed in her home. Congratulations to husband Clinton Rucker. Well, still to come on Fulton Today, from elections to senior services, residents engage in a healthy dialogue with their commissioner. We'll have that story and more in our district-by-district coverage next. A A United States senator applauds Fulton County for its efforts in the opioid crisis, and residents get to voice their concerns about county services. Here's this week's District by District coverage.
So I will find that the evidence as submitted authorized me to sign an order authorizing the temporary collection of taxes.
We begin with the next steps for Fulton County tax collections following a judge's ruling to allow the tax commissioner to send out the 2018 tax bills. Fulton had to seek the court order before sending bills because of the high number of property value appeals that have been filed.
Essentially, this allows us to move to the next step in the process of the tax digest being submitted ultimately, but in the interim, we're able to bill and collect monies to continue government operations.
Chairman Rob Hitz, who was present for the hearing last week, says they are ready for the next step, but added this was not the process that Fulton wanted to take.
It was unfortunate that we had to do that again, but it happened, and we were anticipating that the judge would rule in our favor, and he did.
The Atlanta Public School Superintendent Maria Kostarpin and the Fulton County School Superintendent Jeff Rose were also pleased with the judge's decision. Both districts generate about 2/3 of their general fund budget from Fulton County taxes. Fulton's tax commissioner is preparing to send the bills out in the next few weeks. Fulton's Board of Commissioners get high praise from United States Senator Johnny Isakson about its campaign against opioids. The compliment came during an opioid task force summit hosted by the Georgia's Attorney General, Chris Carr. Law enforcement and elected officials from all across the state convened in Augusta to discuss how the entire state can address this deadly epidemic.
I want to commend Fulton County, the Board of Commissioners, and the whole community for all they're doing in awareness on the opioid issue. It's going to take a team effort to stop opioids, and we've got to do it. Our kids are dying from it. Our communities are suffering. So do what you can to help end the opioid crisis and have kids just say no.
The group heard from a number of officials, including the GBI and the Georgia Department of Public Health. From providing rescue kits complete with the drug Narcan to first responders to filing the first lawsuit against drug distributors, Fulton launched its own opioid task force back in 2017. Vice Chairman Bob Ellis's District 2 office was represented in Augusta. The third quarter of the District Dialogues Town Hall meetings are underway. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. kicked off the series at the Bowden Senior Center in East Point. Residents are getting information from top staff on multiple topics, including the Fulton County registration and elections, the Fulton County library system, low-income senior services, and youth enrichment programs in Fulton County.
We were happy to host our district dialogue at the Bowden Center. It was a great event, great turnout, great opportunity to discuss with residents about current events in Fulton County, including our millage rate, the expansion of our Living Out Loud program to art centers throughout the county, and also our geo-agricultural project and its expansion. I was happy to hear our library director say that the program has been such a success that he looks to expand it to all of the libraries.
There were 3 District Dialogue Town Hall meetings this quarter. Next week, we'll also hear what residents had to say who attended the other sessions at Wolf Creek Library and the Southeast Senior Center. If you did not have a chance to attend, but you have some comments for the commissioner, you can simply reach out to his District 5 office. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And up next on Fulton Today, with all this rain, the Board of Health is reminding residents to not let their yards become breeding grounds for mosquitoes. Stay with us, everybody. In the next 7 years, the number of Georgians living with Alzheimer's is expected to increase by almost 40%. That's according to the Alzheimer's Association Georgia chapter. Well, Fulton Senior Services Department has for years provided an invaluable resource for patients with various forms of memory loss. Dr. Pamela Rochelle is the director of the department and is here to talk about the county's Adult Day program. Pam, good to see you again. Welcome back to Fulton Today.
Hi, Shania. Thanks for having me.
Well, Fulton County has a robust senior population, and therefore it too has its share of residents living with Alzheimer's disease. Overall, what are the numbers here in Georgia?
Well, in Georgia, there are over 140,000 Georgians living with Alzheimer's. Nationally, the number is over 5 million.
And Fulton County, I understand, is leading the pack in terms of the type of program it provides for seniors with memory conditions.
Well, through our Adult Day program, we are able to provide a break for family caregivers. So every day, family caregivers can either drop their loved ones off at one of our 4 multi-purpose facilities, or we provide transportation through our transportation provider. And so every day we're able to provide care for this loved one while their caregiver either works or takes care of other family business.
And that is great for the family and for the caregivers. Share with us now what it's like for the Adult Day participants in this program.
Well, through our Adult Day program, we have scheduled activities that are therapeutic and social in nature. We provide a nutritious meal that's cooked in our multi-purpose facilities, and our participants really enjoy this home-cooked meal every day. We have a variety of different types of program, from art to other types of exercise and just fun. You may see them dancing, doing plays, so many activities. And then we also have field trips. So we really try to not only make it recreational and fun, but it's also very therapeutic in nature. And many of the programs are geared toward participants who have issues like Alzheimer's.
Amazing program, Dr. Rochelle. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Thanks again for having me.
Now, you can get details of the Adult Day program by calling the county's Star Line, and you can get more information about Alzheimer's by connecting with the Georgia chapter of the Alzheimer's Association. And speaking of Fulton Senior Services, the department received enhancement dollars to significantly improve security at its senior facilities. The funds will be used to upgrade all of the county's neighborhood and multi-purpose senior facilities. The Auburn Senior Center has already seen an impact on the door security improvements.
We got new doors installed that only open by doorbell. So before that, we had the doors just open, and people could just walk in and out as they please. So they're locked from the outside, so people have to call to get in. When they ring the bell, we can see who's at the door, and we can speak to them. They could tell us what they're there for, and then we can allow them to come in by the press of a button.
The Board of Commissioners allocated $150,000 to increase security at the Fulton County senior facilities that have been identified as being at risk. The needs were based on assessments conducted by the Fulton County Police Department, Risk Management, and the programmatic needs of the Department of Senior Services. The county's environmental health team is warning residents against letting their property and their backyards to become mosquito breeding grounds. With all of the rain that has happened in our area this summer, experts say that rain, coupled with the warm temperatures and containers to hold rainwater, is the perfect recipe for mosquito breeding. Their advice: tip and toss. Eliminating standing water in and around your home is the most effective way to prevent mosquito breeding.
Yeah, a lot of individuals, they don't realize that a mosquito can breed in size of water in a Coca-Cola bottle cap. So they can breed in any area. It doesn't have to be a suburban area like a backyard. It can be in an urban area, like between buildings, apartment buildings, condos, townhomes also.
The Board of Health recommends that you turn over water collecting items around the home at least once a week. One more piece of advice: wear clothing that protects arms, legs, and necks. And by all means, use a mosquito repellent spray. And up next on Fulton Today, some young creative minds show off the hard work that's lasted all summer long. Well, the Arts and Culture Teen Artist Academy has come to an end. To celebrate the program's conclusion, the department hosted a closing reception at the Abernathy Art Center. The artistic teenagers who participated in the program were given the opportunity to display their work for the public to see 2 weeks prior to the reception.
It gave me an opportunity to learn new things, like how to draw a self-portrait, for example, because I was struggling at first.
I like to be creative, so I try to do things that, like, people don't really see often.
These kids come to our summer camp and they're being taught by working artists, and so their instructors are all amazing, incredible artists in their own right. And so at the end of this class, we want to present their works as they are professional young artists.
The Teen Artist Academy is one of the ways that Fulton's Arts and Culture Department keeps young people engaged in art during their summer breaks. There are plenty of arts programs for young people year-round. Check out the Arts and Culture website for all of those details.
As Fulton Government Television Award of Excellence Day in Fulton County. Let's hear it for them.
And finally, the Fulton Board of Commissioners honors our FGTV team for winning 2 2018 Awards of Excellence from the National Association of County Information Officers. One award in the video series was for the Fulton Law and Justice Program, and the other was for this very program, Fulton Today. FGTV produces more than 20 original monthly programs, in addition to the special programs and public service announcements each year. Fulton County was the only Georgia county to be cited by the organization for the Superior Video Series. We are grateful for the recognition by the full Board of Commissioners. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And you can also watch a replay of this show or any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.